That boy is a P-I-G pig.
Hello, folks. Welcome. Look at it already. Excuse me. Sorry about that, folks. I don't know. So what? I'm dying. All kinds of alloys building up in my brain from lack of sleep. One cigarette does that? That's not a good sign. Jesus Christ. Literally one in the morning. I'm not counting the one I put out on my wife's foot. What? You can't say, it's a joke, you titless wonders. Great to be with you on a Thursday. This is the last day of the week. I said it was yesterday. Just busting your balls, making sure you're paying attention. Sanka. I wonder if you people are even old enough to know what Sanka is. Who named that, by the way? By the way, real quick, Jason. Jason is with us, filling in for Dallas. Dallas has a karate match in Utah. I don't know what he's doing. But Jason is one of the first producers of the Nick DiPaolo show. If you guys that have been with me since the beginning, I was doing this from my basement out of Westchester, New York, and we needed producers. I think we put an ad in Indeed. It was where we found Jason. And who was the crazy friend with you?
Ryan.
And Ryan. These two kids show up. They look 11 and 12. And I said, let's fuck them. No, so they show up, and I'm like, holy moly. And they knew what they were doing because they're of that age and know the internet. And it all ended in tragedy. But he's back. No, remember when Ryan left? Was it Ryan?
We killed him off.
Was it you? Oh, we killed Ryan off.
Killed Ryan
yes. Off. When Ryan left, first of all, you guys were the, what did we call you, the Twinks?
The Twinks.
The Twinks, which is English for
we still fit that description.
Young gay boys. Well, you're getting married, so you cleared that up. But Ryan, when Ryan left the show, we actually did a spoof on, the God. Is that one or two? Two, the shooting. Right? Remember Fredo says, let's go fishing. Takes a little Anthony out fishing, and, he's out in the boat. And he says, I'll say a Hail Mary. That's when you catch a fish. And who's with him? I don't remember. One of the fucking zips. And puts a bullet in the back, puts a bullet in the back of Fredo's head. So we did that. I had a pond on my property in Westchester County. We put them in a canoe and had, you shot him, right? Had Jason shoot Ryan in the back of the head. It was so good. It looked like the gun. And then it pans up to me. I had a bay window overlooking the pool. So it pans up to me, and I'd go like this. Like, remember Michael did that when the gun shot? Jason directed it.
Yeah, I remember you, I told you to do something, and you said, oh, shut the fuck up, you're not Scorsese.
Uh-oh. That didn't sound like me. He goes, I'm not. I'm Christopher Nolan. I said, who's that? Anyhow, that was, when you get married, Jace? September. We changed his life. He wandered into our house and our show, and we came down here. He was still producing. He had to come with us to produce. I found a place, found the girl.
Yep, met my future wife 6 months later.
6 months later, and he's got two black kids that nobody knows how he got. I say the mall. I don't know where he got it, but anyways, yeah, that's the story of Jason. Jason, what's your last name again?
Birkelbach.
There you go. Like his grandfather wasn't in the fucking Third Reich. Birkelbach, you are an idiot. Right out of Hogan's Heroes. Very capable. Can play the shit out of a guitar, too. That's the other thing. Remind me, if you want to make more side money, and I'm serious, maybe a lesson once a week or whatever, I'll throw you cash. I mean, it can be on Zoom, obviously, because you live far away. If you need the cash. I know you got a wedding coming up, and you probably do.
I definitely need the cash.
Yeah, who doesn't? So that's about that. Red Sox last night down late in the game, 5-0. They couldn't touch this guy. Boy, the Phillies have great pitching. All of a sudden, he got a little wild, walked a couple guys, and floated the bases, walked another guy, so now it's 5-1. And then there's a pop-up to the catcher. He can't find it. It lands like 20 feet behind him. So whoever was up gets another chance, throws a pitch. That's a I don't know. That made it 5-1. He walked in that guy. And then Romy Gonzalez comes up and hits a grand slam, puts him ahead 6-5. Not to bore you people, the Phillies tied it in the next inning, and then the Sox win it on a 2-run homer in extra innings. All right, that's enough of that. Let's talk about the live lineup, which I was supposed to do at the top of the show. I don't know why. You know where you are. Live lineup. Look at all the great shows from 9 a.m. Eastern to 7 p.m. Eastern time. All those, Tim Pool and Crowder. These are people that have been at it on the internet forever and have huge followings. And you can learn a lot and laugh your balls off, as they say in New York. Today I'll be talking about Trump bitch slaps Colombia and gets a big win over them. Apparently Hillary was a pillhead. I know she had the gout with those giant ankles and feet, but apparently she was psychotic. And you know who told us that? Russia. And we'll take a look. This is a guy's guy show, folks. That's how my radio show is. Whatever. OnlyFans has a girl on there, 21 maybe, whatever. Just a 15 on a scale of 5. And when I tell you what she makes a year, nobody's that hot. Maybe a young Wayne Newton. Tom Jones. Anyway, so that's what we'll be talking about and throwing a few more sports things at the end. Let's get to the breaking news. I'm glad I checked the phone as I sat down here. Hulkamania dead. What do you mean, Nick? All the fanfare around him? No, I don't. I mean, WWE legend Hulk Hogan has died at the age of 71. Now, we're all acting shocked and stuff, but when you consider what these guys do, and I'm not talking about the body slams and shit, I'm talking about juicing. This is not a surprising occurrence. He was so famous and popular and made the WWE, I guess. Is it? I don't follow this shit. I think it's for gay people, but no. Everybody loved fucking Hulk. He was born, look at this. He was about 6'7", about 330, and ripped. Not to mention, he's got the Ben Franklin thing going in the back with that fucking goatee. You don't get like that from friggin', eating carrots and fucking fish. Do you? I tried, I don't. I should have juiced. If I could do it over again in college, I think I would have juiced. Although I do have a couple friends of mine that I play with that are dead now. But they were also alcoholics. But I think I might have found a doctor. And I was I'm 5'9", I played at about 190. I would have liked to play at like 215. Really run over people. Anyways, University of Maine, fucking my teammates, the linemen especially, they're in the shower putting needles in each other's ass, juicing in the fucking shower. And then you look at them wrong and they punch you in the face. I love linemen. I want to do a documentary on offensive line. They're the meanest people on the planet. Anyways, because they don't get laid, the big uglies. Some of them used to get drunk up at Maine and knock out girls, guys. We had a poodle. We had a black and white poodle at a fraternity, and this guy, Danny McClung, picked it up at a party and threw one of the white one into the punch bowl. Our dog was pink for a week. It's the scariest guy. He never showered. His eyes were at half mast. These steely blue eyes. Scariest motherfucker. Anyway, sorry. Back to Hogan. He was born Terry Jean Bolea, I believe. Was found dead in his Clearwater, Florida home on Thursday morning.
Gone, and we couldn't do nothing about it.
It would be funny though, like if the paramedics come in and he gets up. It's all a ruse. Wrestling folks. I've told the story before. I'm going to go through it real quick again. Like I said, I when I was young, I'd watch way before it was famous. And Vince McMahon I go, look at this little pencil neck guy. He turned this into anyways, a couple years ago, I'm flipping through and I see some guy on WWE pile drive another guy. And the guy lands right on his head. And he looks like he's fucking hurt. So it gets all quiet and he's not moving. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I don't change the channel. And it's all quiet. Doctors rush into the ring. and he's down for like 10 minutes, and then the ambulance backs down the thing, and they put that thing on his neck like you see in football, and carefully put him on the spine board, and then they carefully move the spine board onto they carry it outside the ring. Two guys are carrying him on that board. All as I said, and I see in the background the other wrestler get on the top rope and do a cannonball onto the guy's chest that's on the spine board. I said, these guys, that was better than anything I've seen in a Stallone movie. I mean, the whole place just went, even though they know they're at a fake wrestling match, it was the scary, they played that up. I sat there thinking, this is interesting. This guy's really hurt. And then this guy does a cannonball. I see him in the background climbing on the back. I go, oh, you got to be shitting me. Anyways, Hulk, we're going to fucking miss you. Here's a clip of Hulk. What, one of the Rocky movies? No, this is his very first, 1980. Is that what it says? I'm blind. This is, I think, his very first match.
And his opponent, weighing 321 pounds, from Venice Beach, California, the fabulous Hulk Hogan.
I do that in the morning with my robe. My wife hits me with a donut right up the head. God, look at him. Look at the pipes. As he get tanned and he get ripped, I guarantee his kidneys failed like a retarded kid in a math class. I'm telling you. I remember him. Where am I? First responder. The other one's coming up, right? Yeah, it's at the end. Yeah. First responders went to his home after receiving a call about cardiac arrest, according to TMZ. Paramedics and police patrol were reportedly parked outside of Hogan's home on Thursday morning. Hogan was wheeled out of his home on a stretcher and into an ambulance. And again, I was waiting for somebody to jump off the roof of his house and land on him, and everybody laughed. Clearwater police did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the U.S. Sun. The wrestling icon's cause of death has not been disclosed. This is the one time I'm going to say I don't think it's the jab. And then Andre the Giant, who was always dressed like a woman in a beauty pageant with a off-the-shoulder look. Look at the tit hanging out. Miss Zaire. Look at the size of Hulk. Was a monster. Hulk was like 6'7", I believe, right? Look at that. Anyway, Hogan's ailing health had been widely reported in the weeks leading up to his death, including rumors that he was on his deathbed, which I hadn't heard any. Had you, Jace? I guess if you follow, you might have heard that shit, but I didn't hear any of that. And I got my thumb on the pulse of America. Get the fuck out of here. Anyways, I liked him when he played Thunder Lips in Rocky, I want to say 3. I think you're right. Rocky 2 or 3. He played Thunder Lips. We'll show you this clip.
Did you know in the film Rocky III, Hulk Hogan shared that while filming their fight scene in the ring, Sylvester Stallone insisted that he hit him for real. At first, Hogan refused and warned Stallone that the impact would be massive and could cause injury. However, Stallone had it in the back of his mind that he would...
Stallone said, I'm already brain damaged. Well, you gotta do that there. Go ahead.
Take the hit like a staged wrestling move. After repeated insistence, Hogan finally struck him with an elbow to the back of the head. The impact was so intense that Stallone fell right out of his shoes and ended up with a bleeding lip. According to Hogan, Stallone's reaction in the scene was genuine. He was truly stunned by the hit and never asked him to do it again for the rest of the fight scene.
That I believe.
I don't want to hit you. He goes, well, hit me. Give me everything you have. I said, no, brother, you don't want that. I said, there's a certain place I can hit you harder than others, but if I hit you as hard as I can, it's not going to be cool. He goes, well, give me 50%. I went, I really don't want to. And I hit him. I probably gave him 50%. And as soon as I made contact, his face hit my cowboy boots. He came up and his lip was bleeding. So, oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. And so he was all excited, just because I hit him.
What a psycho.
Proving Stallone is nuts. Remember Stallone in Rambo when he jumps off the cliff and falls through a pine tree for like 5 minutes and rips his arm open? He actually, and I read this, he actually stitched himself. When they show in the movie him stitching him, they said he cut himself. Is that really necessary? I think, you know what that is? They call it method acting. I don't know if Stallone's a method actor. I don't put him up there with Brando. Maybe Larry Storch. I'm making fun of Stallone. I fucking love him. By the way, he follows me on, I hope he's not watching this, because you're the one guy I want to meet before I die. You got me laid a lot when I kind of looked like you when I was young. All chicks with huge hair, but, you know. But, yes. So, anyways, what was I supposed to do?
You're gonna eat like me, and you're gonna crap thunder.
Well, anyways, boy, it's been a tough week. Ozzy, right? Now, Hulk. I got my fingers crossed for Ellen DeGeneres.
He was the best guy around.
I'm talking about, that was about Ellen, not...
What about all the people he wrestled?
What's that?
What about all the people he wrestled?
Yeah, exactly. Have you seen Ellen DeGeneres lately? She turned into an English man. Have you seen that picture? Oh, my God. Let's move on. Speaking of DeGeneres and Rosie O'Donnell and other traitors to this country, next headline, Poison Ivy League. The Trump administration has won unprecedented concessions from Columbia University in a sweeping settlement with the Ivy League University paying more than $220 million in pledging to reverse racially discriminatory practices and resolve civil rights violations against Jewish students. You know what's funny? And they're the ones, these people who did that run these schools, left-wing academia, they're the ones who've been screaming racism at the top of their lungs for the last 70 years and pointing towards guys like Trump and white people, and when it's been them all along. The hatred they have for this country and who founded it and its fucking legacy is just amazing when you look into it. Under the settlement, Columbia will agree to submit to independent monitoring to ensure it complies with merit-based hiring and admissions required. Oh, yeah, we'll take your word for it. Why in God's name would you trust these fucks? You better have people looking for discrimination sitting in each classroom, because they're not going to change. They're rotten to the bone, so are their kids. The settlement is likely to put pressure on other schools like that shitbox they call Harvard that have crossed the White House. You know, Harvard, they're going to change the name of their football team to Hamas. That have crossed, Jihadi, the Harvard Jihadi, have crossed the White House over tolerance of extreme Jew hatred on campuses since the October 7th, 2023 attack by Hamas against Israel. Boy, I bet you Hamas regrets that one. Just think what that turned into. The resolution comes after just 4 months of negotiations between Columbia and Trump, striking a stark contrast with Harvard, which dragged the administration into court for stripping the school of $2.6 billion in grants and other funding. It's funny when you hit anybody in the wallet. Trump understands money more than anybody. How about all the panic about the tariffs? We're going to go into a deep recession. Shit is humming along. Like, he's as smart as everybody said he was dumb. He's smarter. Like I said, the Red Sox being down 3-0 in 2004 against the Yankees and coming back and win. That to me was like one of the greatest feat in sports that I had witnessed. This guy's that times 10 because he's doing it in real life with the whole world against him. The fucking media, they try to put him in jail. They shot him in the face. Seriously, guy should be fucking Mount Rushmore. He should be above those fucks. They should have him like this on Mount Rushmore. If they do it, these should move though. You know what I mean? That's what I'd do. There he is again. He likes to show off when he goes to the Cheesecake Factory of how much he eats. Left side of the menu. This video is something we want to watch right now. This is the break-in by Columbia University. Remember last year? How scary is this if you're a Jewish kid in the school? This is right out of fucking Nazi Germany.
Hates Jews. Hates Jews.
Oh, this is me. I locked my keys. There I go. This is a college. Listen to the mantra in the back the brain dead kids will. Did somebody say out? That happened to me at the University of Maine. I took a fat girl from Lewiston hostage, and they had to break in and steal all the dinners. In addition to paying the feds $200 million to settle their discrimination claims, Colombia will also fork over more than $20 million to Jewish employees who were discriminated against amid fierce anti-Semitic demonstrations that followed the Hamas attacks. So Trump, 220 mil. That's serious cash.
It seems foolish to have all this money lying around.
Oh, you'd rather have it down at the bank where the Jewish guys can leer at it?
Yeah, money.
Money. The Ivy League school has also agreed to end all programming that discriminated against faculty or students. You know, they would turn down, well-qualified people. And
But you don't have opening?
No.
But why not?
That was an Indian professor trying to get into the chemistry thing. Bringing it into full compliance with Supreme Court's 2023 decision, banning race-based affirmative action and create some yet-to-be-announced faculty positions in the name of broadening intellectual diversity. Again, they scream diversity, but they only mean it when it comes to, And they're even lying when screaming about skin color because they hate Jews. The settlement further calls for Colombia to maintain a trained security force blocking demonstrations. Ooh, that'll be the new Gestapo, and you can already hear it. Blocking demonstrations in academic spaces and coordinate with NYPD to prevent a repeat of the takeover of Hamilton Hall by anti-Israel rioters in the spring of last year, while the university will impose a complete ban on masked protests. I cannot wait to see you guys try to execute these new rules. Because college kids, they'll read that and go, this is what we got to do. Shit's been going on forever. I could have cleaned. You didn't even need all this. Again, I'm telling you, I'll say it again. All we needed is one more Kent State. Maybe not the... Well, if you guys know what Kent State is, Nixon. There was some fun rallies going on, and the kids were getting out of hand, and one of the cops put one of them down, and boy, did they behave the rest of the time. You don't have to do that, but again, rubber bullets and flamethrowers. No, those hurt. Rubber bullets, German shepherds, fire hoses. Watch your film from Selma that I sent you. Shit worked beautifully. You don't have to make all these new rules. They're afraid. And all these kids that protest and rally, they all have one thing in common, okay? They've never been smacked in the face in their fucking life. I guarantee that. If Tyson said, have you got a plan to get punched in the mouth? As part of its participation in the Federal Student and Exchange Visitor Program, that's SEVIS, the school will now be expected to report any disciplinary actions for those holding visas, including suspensions, expulsions, or arrests. That goes for you foreigners. And how about the ones that overstay there? And how about checking for spy and espionage? Jesus, China has about 11,000 kids pretending they're students at Harvard, stealing intellectual property from Best Buy. So that'll make for an interesting school year. But you got to hand it to Trump and his administration. He is checking the shit off. He's only been in there for 6 months. It's insane. That's fascism, man. Oh, really? It's called law and order. And again, if you have a problem with that and you think everybody should be on the dole, there's plenty of other shitholes you can move to. What the fuck is stopping you? You know why? Because you really don't believe that. You love where you live. You're just bored. It's performance art. This place is so racist and white patriarchy has ruined it. And yet there's people floating over on 2x4s and catapulting themselves to get in here. So again, your protests and your rallies have become tired. Nobody believes in them, and you've been exposed by Trump. Now it's up to the next 10 presidents to keep it that way. Okay? And I'm not talking fucking, Tim Walz. How about that fruit cup? That guy's gayer than Judy Garland's shoe tree. It's one of my best lines ever. I don't even mean Judy Garland. I mean her mother, Liza Minnelli, who's the Broadway star, and I always go Judy Garland. That's how fucking old I am. Anyways, let's move on to some other poo-poo. Russia's got dirt on Pill Pop and Hillary. This was my favorite. This one made me perk up and get hard. Before I do that, folks, I might as well do it now while I'm thinking of it. Stand-up comedy, yes, I still do it and enjoy the stand-up part of it. Go to what is it, Kevin Spacey .schmackis? nickdip.com and click on the, can you put those up, Jace? Tour dates, August 8th and 9th, Side Splitters in Tampa. Those shows are just, that club, I don't know, I have a nice rapport with those people. That's 8th and 9th of August. Then September 19th through 20th, Wise Guys, Salt Lake City. Can't wait to do that one. And October 3rd, the Arlington Draft House, Arlington, Virginia. That's a nice theater. October 16th, Zanies in Nashville, Tennessee. And nickdip.com. Go to the merchandise page if you want to support this show and pick up a DiPaolo brassiere or IUD or ass paddle at nickdip.com. We have young Indian girls. I bought them a loon, and they're downstairs pumping out these hats and all kinds of shit. And then their father comes and says, I would like to work with my daughter.
But you don't have opening?
No.
But why not?
But why not? Have you ever tied a why not?